My name is Aaron Rubicek, and I'm the founder and CEO of Ponto Footwear. The pandemic, no doubt, blurred the boundaries in our lives. People are less bound to a single location than ever before, and people are less tolerant of being told where to be and when by their employers. Life's changed, and with that, so have our consumption habits. Brands have yet to fully answer this call for more hybridized living by matching it with products that facilitate our new reality. Ponto addresses this shift in demand for the industry of footwear and was founded under the hypothesis that traditional shoe brands have viewed fashion and function as mutually exclusive characteristics for far too long. Fact has it that we as consumers own closets full of hyper-specific footwear that serve occasional use cases. So think the dress shoes for the wedding, the Nike trainers for the Saturday errands in the gym. What this all boils down to is we lack good-looking transitional footwear that aligns with consumer demand for values-driven, do-good brands and products. At Ponto, we reimagine the consumer apparel space by providing hybridized footwear that transitions between work, play, and everything in between, and keeps the planet in mind with every detail. The vision behind Ponto manifests in our first shoe line, the Pacific, a sustainably made, multi-occasion style that's elevated like a dress shoe up top and feels like a squishy trainer down below. The upper is made from recycled leather, which is fully water repellent, uses 95% recycled water, and is much less toxic on both the factory worker and the land surrounding factories than the majority of vegan alternatives. The shoe also features a sugarcane-infused foam bottom and a eucalyptus tree pulp tensile liner on the inside of the shoe that lengthens the useful life and prevents foot odor with natural tree fibers, so Pontos can be worn both socked and sockless. We differentiate ourselves in the saturated space of footwear by providing footwear that's highly durable, functional, and comfortable, while also building it on a brand and product aesthetic that feels inherently luxury. When you couple this with the level of sustainable rigor that we hold our brand to, no other brand achieves the same trifecta of design, comfort, and sustainability emphasis. In terms of our target market, we refer to them as change makers. They're generally ages 25 to 44, live in major metropolitan areas, work in professions such as finance, tech, medicine, education, restaurant and bar workers, as well as airline and hospitality staff. They generally have a bachelor's or graduate degree or are currently working towards one. They're generally mindful of both their overall wellness and health and are civically engaged with a global outlook. Their lives surround around movement, so comfort and versatile footwear that seamlessly blends from occasion to occasion is of the utmost importance. They appeal to brands like Cole Haan, Patagonia, Figs, and Away suitcases, and on average earn roughly $68,000 per year. We currently sell direct to consumer through our site at a retail price of $129. Our freight on board cost is roughly $28, and our gross margin is roughly 55%. 16% of revenue currently comes from repeat customers, and we have maintained a return rate of 15% across the nearly 7,500 orders that we have generated, which when compared to the industry average of 30% is remarkably low. While the crux of our revenue has been direct to consumer to date, we do continue to open up revenue streams with retail, dropshipping marketplaces, as well as B2B employee gifting programs, as makes sense for the business. Our funding prior to our now oversubscribed seed round totals $540,000, which was generated across a Kickstarter, friends and family, personal investment, and an SBA loan. In 2021, our first full year of operation, we generated about $750,000 in gross sales. And in Q1 thus far, we have had our most efficient sales quarter to date, and our daily sales are up 90% since return to office announcements with major companies were announced. In terms of our plans for future growth, we plan to hit $2.1 million in sales in 2022 and nearly $5 million in sales in 2023. We're on pace to hit profitability in early 2023, and our Series A will follow soon thereafter. Our current sustainable impact expands outside product design, materials, and manufacturing. More specifically, we donate 1% of sales to an ocean conservancy project called Changing Tides Foundation, which is founded in our hometown of Encinitas, California, and centered around empowering women to protect the planet. We enable circular economy by compensating Ponto customers to send their used pairs back to us, where we then credit them $20 to our store and send their used pairs on to the nonprofit Souls for Souls, where the bottoms are repaired and actually are used to become the initial consignment inventory for aspiring female entrepreneurs in developing nations like Haiti, opening up their first consignment locations and starting their entrepreneurial journey. We also ship fully carbon neutral from both an ocean freight and parcel shipping perspective through our partnership with flexport.org. Across the nearly 6,000 pairs we shipped in 2021, we conserved 5.1 million gallons of water through using recycled leather versus traditional leather products. Additionally, we prevented 128 tons of CO2 from entering the atmosphere through shipping via the ocean. Furthermore, we purposely recycled 2,500 pounds of leather that otherwise would have been destined for landfill and saved 5,000 pounds of cardboard through the usage of our 100% recycled and recyclable shippable shoebox. I'd like to call out that these are just the aspect we can currently put hard metrics to. Using close to 100% recycled and bio-based materials throughout our entire value chain has far greater impact than these metrics report. And alongside our post-purchase donation, circularity with Souls for Souls, and more. However, we're only willing to report a life cycle analysis for that which is 100% true and confirmed through a third-party auditing partner, CO2 for Action. This year, we'll begin to transition into a fully upcycled vegan leather alternative that is biodegradable at the fiber level and also enables full remanufacturing. As we continue to scale these efforts, our impact will grow in orders of magnitude and serve as a gold standard for what's possible in the industry of consumer apparel and footwear. Alongside working as the founder and CEO of Ponto for the past 3 years and 8 months, I worked at Google/YouTube for nearly 5 years, where I resigned to go full-time on Ponto just about 5 to 6 months ago. And while working at Google, that's where I actually co-founded Ponto concurrently on the side for nearly the entirety of Ponto's existence. So it's just recent that I've been full-time on it. My co-founder and chief operating officer, Joseph Markey, has a background in mechanical engineering, having received both a bachelor's and master's degree from UC Berkeley, and his work experience spans various social impact startups in the Silicon Valley, having set up multiple fully functioning manufacturing lines overseas prior to coming to Ponto. In terms of our active equity owning advisory board, it currently consists of John Knight, who serves as the Global VP of Design and Creative Direction at Fanatics, and his prior experience includes being head design director at the North Face, Under Armour, Yeezy, and more. Tara Walpert-Levy has spent the past nearly 12 years working at YouTube and Google, reporting directly to the C-suite, and has experienced firsthand the tailwinds and headwinds of digital marketing and rapidly scaling a disruptive organization. Scott Brown is our resident shoe dog and spent nearly 20 years at Nike, managing their entire Asia-Pacific footwear supply chain operation. Lauren Cutshaw is a brand marketing guru who spent her career across various marketing leadership roles in the health and wellness space. And our longest standing advisor, Greg Moser, specializes in e-commerce tech, logistics, and finance, currently serving as the founder and president of a fast-growing third-party logistics firm that Ponto also leverages for our own warehouse and parcel shipping needs. We've been featured in Forbes, Good Morning America, Harper's Bazaar, Business Insider, Men's Health, and more. And we have a major slate of press activations that's launching throughout this year and beyond. At Ponto, we're reminded of our why through stories of customers feeling empowered as more wholesome versions of themselves by looking good, feeling good, and doing good in ways that conventional footwear brands simply did not allow. Take the example of Gail Myers, a woman suffering from multiple sclerosis, who wrote to us praising how Ponto's had reduced her foot pain, ankle swelling, and back pain, whilst also enabling her to look good in ways that the typical clunky, obtuse aesthetic of orthotics had never provided her to do. Other examples include newly naturalized Brazilian dreamers, posting tweets that go viral from their naturalization ceremony, reflecting on their climb out of poverty to now being a CEO on the Inc. 5000 fastest growing company list. And this is after coming to the US with no more than $200 in their pocket. And need I mention that, of course, they're wearing Pontos at their naturalization ceremony. These anecdotes span change makers far and wide, from teachers back in the classroom for the first time in 2 years, to the overworked healthcare worker, and many more, who are all in the arena, and each uniquely embody the spirit of Ponto. Ponto has oversubscribed its seed fundraising goal by $200,000, and our current investors include Andy Dunn, the founder and CEO of Bonobos, the former head of renewable energy and impact investment at Silicon Valley Bank, various Google executives, and more. We invite and challenge you to take your first steps towards change alongside ours by learning more about our now oversubscribed seed round, and as we empower one another to be more mindful with both self and planet. Thank you.